Franchise Sports Media!
What's going on, fight fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm your host, Kalani Lua, and man, oh man, do we have another fun, fight-filled weekend coming up for us in store. We're all over the place. Mainly, we'll be down in New Orleans, down there in the Bayou. Go Tigers! UFC 318, Saturday night. Dustin Poirier says farewell. The Louisiana Lafayette native, or the Lafayette, Louisiana native, says goodbye to the sport of mixed martial arts. And who does he have the honor of sharing the cage with? Well, none other than one of his biggest rivalries in Max Holloway. They will be taking on each other for the third time. Poirier 2-0 against Max. Can the BMF champion Max Holloway redeem himself and get payback and send Dustin on his way? Or will Poirier prove that pressure makes diamonds and he just shines bright like a diamond? We shall see. Before we get to UFC Saturday night, Friday night in New Orleans, making its road debut, Power Slap 14. Woo! It is going to be on and cracking. And if you don't want to go down south, you don't want to go down to the humidity, why don't you stay on out here in the desert with us at Saturday night, MGM Grand, T-Mobile Arena. Manny Pacquiao returns. It's been 4 years, but he is coming back. Manny Pacquiao comes back. He will be stepping into the ring. Man, oh man, he will be taking on Mario Barrios for the WBC Welterweight Championship. Again, guys, a fun-filled weekend. What a start. Let's jump into it. So, we got Dustin Poirier saying farewell after an enormous and incredible resume, incredible career, what we've seen him do in the octagon throughout the years. This is truly, truly one of the best fighters. Technically, you can say that he's won a title because he was an interim champion, but if you want to be realistic, I guess, as some fighters would say, that's not the real title. So he could go down as one of the best to never win a championship. I know guys like Dan Henderson are in that category, Donald Cerrone, Tony Ferguson, Dustin Poirier's name, right at the top. He's going to be taking on Max Holloway. And again, these two guys, it just seems like beautiful poetry right here that they're meeting each other for Dustin's last match. Max Holloway made his UFC debut in 2012 against who? Dustin Poirier. Poirier got the victory then over the young Hawaiian, defeated him there. Then Max goes on a tremendous run throughout his career. Poirier then welcomes Max to 155. Poirier already, they fought at 145. Let me back up a little bit. They fought at 145. Both were at featherweight. Holloway makes his debut in the UFC in 2012, loses to Dustin Poirier. Poirier, as his career goes on, he leaves 145, goes up to 155, reinvents himself, goes on a tremendous run. Staying at 145, Max Holloway, he goes on a tremendous run as well, becoming a champion, going on an 11-fight win streak, defeating the likes of Jose Aldo, Frank Yeager, etc., etc. Then, who welcomes Max to 155? Well, I welcome you to the UFC. Might as well welcome you to a new weight class. Dustin Poirier welcomes Max Holloway to 155 once again. Defeats him. All out war this time, a lot closer, but in the end, it was Poirier who saw his hand raised, victorious once again. Now, leaving the octagon, saying farewell, putting my gloves down and saying, Bios con Dios. Dustin says, who better to send me off than the man I have welcomed twice to the promotion, to the new division, then the BMF champion himself, Max Holloway. So, again, it's just poetry in motion. These two guys seem like they were just meant for each other. Their styles, the way that they go about it. Think about all the different fighters we've seen in the UFC. Think about all the characters, the personalities, the controversies, the bullshit, everything that we've gone through. These two guys are not involved in any of that. These two guys don't get into public disputes where they're fighting, they're throwing dollies at buses, they're getting arrested, DUIs, none of that. These are just two guys who said, hey, I was put on this earth to fight. I got a good heart. I got a great family, tremendous support system, but I love to fight. I love violence. So I want to go out there and do something, show people in my community and around the country, around the world, hey man, there's other ways to go out there and find success. And you can be a good person by working hard, persevering, having good people around you. It's interesting how Dustin Poirier said there was a time in his career where he was looking for someplace to call home for a training camp. He had reached out to a couple camps, didn't hear from anybody. Then there's this gym, American Top Team down in Florida that says, hey, come on down here. Go from Louisiana, come on over here to Florida, baby. Put the LSU Tiger colors down, put on the U colors, it would be the U, because they're further down South Florida. Anyways, come on over here and see how you like it out here and whatnot. We got beautiful beaches. Come on, and he has thrived tremendously there. Dustin Poirier, 30-9, won no contest, former intern champion. I mean, he's fought the likes of, win, lose, or draw, he has fought the likes of Islam Makhachev, took him into the deep waters as well, almost defeated champion. Conor McGregor 3 times, lost the first time at 145, defeated him next 2 times. I know there was a leg injury in there, but that's part of it, isn't it? Defeated him as well. Max Holloway, as we just talked about, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, St. Denis, the Boogeyman, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Chucky. Hell, I think one time he even fought the dude from Final Destination 17. I mean, this dude has fought everybody that you need to fight, hasn't backed down, hasn't stirred away from anybody, and just says, line him up, stack him up, I got him. So for Dustin, calling it a career, it's one of those where you say, man, we wish you could keep going on a little bit longer. Wish we could have saw you at 170. Now, I get it. When you move in weight classes, especially 15-pound difference, 155 at lightweight to 170 pounds at welterweight in the UFC, yeah, that's a big jump because now you're taking on guys who are naturally bigger than you because they're walking around close to 200 pounds, cutting to 170. You're cutting to 155. No way you're walking around near close to 200 pounds, unless you're Islam Makhachev. Boy. But Dustin's gone out there and said, hey, I'll fight anybody that needs be. I think he considered it, but I think he was just weighing the pros and cons of putting that much weight on my body, trying to be efficient as I can at 170, just not going to be in the works for me. Look at someone like Georges St. Pierre. Took him a long time, and I know he was Duncan Anderson Silva. No. Because when he goes up to 185 to fight Michael Bisping, guess what happens afterwards? He had to have surgery because he was putting on too much weight. He's like, buddy, I can't walk around this heavy. I don't do that, okay? I'm from Canada. We got Canadian bacon. Not as much fat as regular American bacon. Bacon, ooh, sound good, oh, good Lord almighty. But Dustin's like, yeah, man, I thought about it considering the matchup, but I'm going to stay here at 155. This is my home. I want to be a champion here. It's the toughest division in the UFC historically throughout time, way back to when BJ Penn was running the show. This is the toughest division, top to bottom, and here's a gauntlet here of killers, assassins, ninjas, samurais, lions, tigers, bears. Oh, my. So Dustin said, yeah, I'm just going to stay here, go throughout my career, fight everyone I need to fight. And let me tell you, you will not find a boring fight among Dustin Poirier's resume. His opponent maybe didn't want to engage as much, but Dustin says, I don't care what your style is. Wrestling, sambo, jiu-jitsu, boxing, taekwondo, Shotokan, Tai Chi, Steven Seagal, don't matter. I'm coming at you, buddy. So for Dustin, from the main event here at Franchise Sports Media, MMA fans across the world, and just people in general, thank you for everything that you have given us, both inside the octagon and outside of it. Thank you for being a good person. Thank you for having a big heart for all the things you have done for people throughout your career, all the things you continue to do and will continue to do. Wishing you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. Thank you. It has been an honor and a privilege. Sometimes we say, man, we're going to miss it. But you know, instead of missing it, let's appreciate the fact that we got to see Dustin Poirier fight. Man, oh man, what a ride it was. But you are going to be taking on my brother from the island. You are going to be taking on Max Bless Holloway from Wyandotte Shoots, bruh, coming in, and he's looking to get payback. He lost to Alexander Volkanovski 3 times. He's lost to Dustin twice. Max don't want to go 0-6 in trilogies, and what's crazy about that is you look at it and say, okay, of those 0-5 losses, only one of them, the third time he fought Volkanovski, is where he really got his ass whooped. Every other one was competitive, pulled away a little bit here, caught me here in this submission against Poirier the first time, but every single one of those, yeah, we went to war. So is that an indication that maybe Max, for his third one, like he did against Volk, is just going to get outclassed? I don't really think so, because that's not the type of fighter Max Holloway is. I think on that particular night, Volkanovski was just that much better. I mean, you could have put almost anybody, you could put Jesus Shuttlesworth in there with Volkanovski that night. He would have ran through him like a hot knife through butter. So I just think it's one of those where, hey, man, he called me on that night. He was a better fighter. It is what it is. For Max, I do feel like he's focused, determined, and ready to go out there and show that he's still one of the main figures to be considered. Now that he's found a new home at 155, this isn't a one-off for him. It's not a short notice fight. He's like, no, I've moved my training camp. I'm not going back down to 145. I'm staying up here, put on the weight, put on the muscle, and I'm ready and focused. Max Holloway going into this fight 26-8, looking to go out there and say, yeah, bro, you saw what I did to Justin Gaethje? Watch what I do for an encore. The BMF title being on the line, does Max retain in here? And no! And he goes on to carry it against somebody else? Or does Dustin Poirier finally get a UFC title? I get it. It's not the official gold belt. It's not an official UFC title as far as, yes, I'm a UFC champion, even though you kind of are. You get to wear the belt and it's promoted as that, but you guys know what I'm saying. Or does Dustin get to wear it, put that strap on one last time, set his glove down, and walk off into the sunset? Like one of those old Western movies with Clint Eastwood, or a modern-day one like Blood and Bone with Michael Jai White. And you just walk off into the sunset, on to your next adventures in life. It will be something to see. It will be fantastic. It will be action-packed. From the moment these guys start making their walk to the cage to the moment that final bell rings and they walk out the cage, it is going to be fireworks. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be magical. We are going to have a lot of fun with these two here. I think for Poirier, for him to find success in victory once again over Max, he's going to have to get Max backing up once again. He's going to have to get Max to backpedal, get on his horse, and move around. Now, again, when they fought before at 55, Max had moved up, but he wasn't traditionally a 55er yet. So when they got in there, yeah, on the scale, we're 55. But when we got in there, it looked like big brother versus little brother. Poirier looked like a grown man up in there physically against Max, and you could see it when he would hit Max and make contact with his strikes. It affected Max a little bit more, hence why he was all busted up. I think now in this one, as Max has already fought down, this will be his third time at 55. He's, like I said, he's put on the weight, put on the muscle. He's geared his body to be ready for 55. Physically, Poirier might be slightly bigger, but not tremendously much more like he was the second time. But I think in this one, he would still be physically stronger than Max, where he can get Max backing up, moving backwards. And while Max is a good counterpuncher, he's much, much better if he's able to be the one applying the pressure, if he's the one coming forward. So really, it's going to be a matter of who can initiate their will first, who can get the other guy backing up. For Poirier, if he can get Max backing up, and if he can leg kick Max at times and make it to where, hey, let's get a little scrappy and dirty here. Let me mix in some grappling with this. I may not necessarily take you down for wrestling and jiu-jitsu purposes, but I get you thinking about it. I get you thinking about the takedown. So when I feint, I come over the top with a left, come over the top with a right, come up with a knee. Feint, go down, grab you, put you up against the cage, let you wear my weight and feel my strength on you. You're not really going to wear down Max Holloway cardio-wise, but you can get him to slow down just a bit to think about it. Look what Volkanovski did against him when he was throwing the leg kicks. At first two rounds, okay, third, fourth, fifth round, Max isn't moving as fast. Max isn't able to glide and move out the way as much because the leg kicks are working. Now he's thinking about it. So now Volk can hesitate the leg kick, come with a straight right, come with a left. Dustin could get Max thinking. That could be a good way for him to find success once again against Max Holloway. For Max, we know how tough as nails he is. We know that, hey, he's able to go out there. He has to, from the very first moment, he's got to find a way to establish his rhythm, his fight, his distance, and he has to be able to go out there and say, hey, Dustin, I know you're willing to stay in and bang, and you're willing to stay in here in the phone booth with me, brother, but I got to find ways to get you back. Holloway's probably going to have to throw some kicks out there. You know, he's got some spin kicks in there, some front kicks. You don't necessarily have to throw a bunch, but you got to get some to get Dustin Poirier to back up a little bit and think about it. Go for that midsection. Make him think about those kicks coming in. That way, he's not fully coming forward on you, and Max is able to plant his feet, stand 10 toes down, like he does, and establish his rhythm, get his offense going. When Max is able to find that groove and he's able to put combinations together, that's when we see Max at his best. Max cannot be sitting there thinking and backing up, trying to counter. He has to be the one. So again, these are two pit bulls who are going to be aggressive towards each other. But Whoever establishes dominance first and can infiltrate or inflect their will more early and often, that's who I see being the victor in this one. Ain't anything going to happen. But I do see that being the key to success for both fighters. Again, I think this is going to be fight of the night. I think it's going to be tremendous. I think win, lose, or draw, we're going to look back and say, man, we got to see these guys fight 3 times. Early in their career, prime career, end of their career. What an awesome story Holloway Poirier 3 was. Also, UFC 318, we got Dan Ige. He will be taking on Patricio Pitbull, the former Bellator champion, making his second UFC appearance. He appeared in earlier this year in April, lost to Yair Rodriguez, so now this is his second time. You know, again, those UFC jitters, the stage, the arena, the lights, everything's a little bit brighter, a little bit bigger, fans a little bit louder, especially depending when you're fighting who's in the tournaments. But anyways, Pitbull, we know he's a tremendous fighter. Can he come out there now in his second going and show, hey, there's a reason why they brought me over here, and there's a reason why when I was over in the other organization, I was cracking heads and taking names. Dan Ige, though, another island brother. My man said, I'll be Huckleberry. Oh, you think this is going to be easy? No. Let's see what you got here, Pitbull. Let's see if I could tame the monster and give you some puppy chow and pet you one time and send you back in the corner and crying and everything. So for Danny Ige, we know he's game. We know he's going to come in with his style. Patricio Pitbull, he's got to find his rhythm. You know, when you have aura and you have confidence in yourself, that's great. But now that you're in a new promotion, you almost have to take that confidence and aura and start from the beginning. You have to start and reestablish yourself and show these fighters why you were a 2-division champion over here, why you were one of the biggest names out there when it came to free agency or just when it came to who's the best mixed martial arts around, especially in your own division right here. You have to be able to show people, hey, there's a reason why your boy at 55, Chandler, why me and him went to war the way that we did. Let me show you why. So for Pitbull, have that aura, have that confidence, but you got to reestablish all that now, and you got to prove that, hey, I may have lost my first one, and that's okay. We've seen guys lose their first UFC fight, their debut fights. Look at someone like Shogun Rua, loses the Forrest Griffin in his first UFC fights, come back and I think he did pretty well for himself. Dan Henderson technically didn't lose his UFC debut because he had already been in the old UFC, but then went to Pride. When he came back over to the UFC, he was remaking his debut, but he lost to Quentin Rampage Jackson. Chuck Liddell lost his UFC debut. So again, I know I'm going further back there, but you can lose your first showing there and still bounce back and be good. But for Pitbull, you don't want to start off 0-2 in this division. If you do start off 0-2, buddy, you better give the main event a run for his money as far as fight of the night goes and be able to show people, hey, win, lose, or draw, I'm must-see TV. Also on this card, we got Paulo Costa. Secret juice? Will it happen? You know, they say from a certain angle, me and Paulo Costa kind of look the same. So, you know, if I need to step in, hey, holla at your boy. Kevin Holland on here, didn't he just fight 3 hours ago? This dude turns around faster than anybody. So he's coming in as well. We got Michael Johnson on the card. UFC 318 is going to be phenomenal. The card was built so that one Dustin Poirier could have a proper send-off and he can go out there and have his moment, his headline one last time. But this card is stacked with tremendous fighters. It is going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to tune in to UFC 318. Now we go from the octagon to the square circle. We're stepping into the world of boxing. And man, oh man, let me tell you. They say you can't teach the old dog new tricks, but sometimes you don't have to. Because that old dog's like, yeah, I got enough tricks in my bag. I ain't even going to all of them yet. Manny Pacquiao, Pac-Man. He is returning to take on Mario Barrios. Mario, the champion, the WBC welterweight champion, will defend his title against Manny Pacquiao. There is a 16-year gap between these guys. Mario at 30, Pacquiao at 46. Pac-Man has not been in a ring in a fight since 2021 where he lost. It was a unanimous decision, but there's definitely people who felt he could have won or it could have been a draw or, hey, did he look old? Was it just an off night? We shall see. But Pac-Man says, hey, listen, I did my duties being in public office in the Philippines. I'm ready to get back out there. When it comes to these fighters, right? It reminds me of that scene in Rocky IV where Apollo Creed is talking to Sylvester Stallone. And he's like, listen, Rock, we're warriors. You don't just get to turn it off. We're not some AM, FM radio where you just turn it off. The warrior needs a battle, and he needs to be in the fight. And that's why I do think you see a lot of these fighters, both in MMA and in boxing, even in pro wrestling, they struggle once they're done because the adrenaline rush that you get from that crowd. There's a movie coming out with Dwayne Johnson called Smash Machine, where he plays MMA legend and a wrestling legend, Mark Kerr. In the trailer, he even talks about there's 40,000 people cheering for you, chanting your name, wanting to see you win. There's some in there who want to see you lose, but when you win and you silence them and everyone's just roaring and cheering for you, there's nothing like it. Look at someone like Ric Flair from the world of professional wrestling. This dude is 742 years old, yet he can't let go of living the nature boy lifestyle, walking down that aisle, the bright lights, the ladies calling, the jets, the Rolex wearing. Woo! Look at fighters. It is hard to walk away and fight, and that's why it's so important that when they do walk away, you got to find something. Commentary, acting, something to fill that voice, something that's going to challenge you. And sometimes, in all honesty, sometimes I feel it's because they didn't empty the tank or the bucket when they did fight. If you guys remember Rocky VI, there's a lot of Rocky references, but it's boxing and it's relevant. In Rocky VI, he no longer has his wife Adrian. He talks about, man, there's a beast in the basement. I got something down there and I need to get it out. I don't want to necessarily be a champion. I don't want all these headlines. It turned out to be a big fight because it's a Rocky movie, of course, but I just want to get it out. You remember at the end when he tells Paulie, the beast is gone. Beast is out of me. Fighters need that. And you never know when it's going to happen. It can happen somewhere in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s. You never know. Look at football players. They love football, but then they start looking at concussions, CTE. I want to be around my family. There's other things I can do. I'm going to walk away. And there's guys retired, Andrew Luck, Patrick Willis, Greg Olson, Luke Kuechly, guys who are leaving football in the prime of their careers when they're still at the height of their sport. So for someone like Pacquiao, he's coming back. Look, I don't know what any finances he may need. I would assume he's doing okay, but still, when you're a fighter, take finances out of it. Take the drama and the BS out of it. When you are a fighter, a gladiator, a modern-day warrior in the ring, in the cage, you need something to fill that hole. For Pacquiao, this is what he has. And he's willing to come back and say, I want Barrios. Barrios now gets a chance to go out there and take on one of the best. Now, Barrios is WBC welterweight champion. This man is 29-2, 18 knockouts. His last fight was in 2024, but it was November, so he's been getting ready for it. He did lose to Keith Thurman and Devontae Davis, but he has gone 3-0-1. It was a draw against Abel Ramos in his last 4. So he's more than willing and capable to go out there and put on a show. We know he's an action-packed fighter. We know he's somebody that's not just going to sit back and be in awe of Pacquiao standing around him. Pacquiao, we know what he's about to bring. He's going to be bouncing around. He's going to be jumping in and out. Pop, 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 pop. What I wonder and what I kind of worry about is at 46 years old, Pacquiao's style is related on bouncing around, movement, and explosiveness, jumping in and out. See, Floyd, right, stands back, defense, moves around, doesn't take a lot of punishment. For Pacquiao, do those legs start to get a little rubbery? Do they start to get a little shaky? Is the energy still there to jump in and out and be as effective as he was, be as explosive as he was, be as powerful as he was? We shall see, but I got to tell you, I'm kind of excited to see this. It is one of those where you say, because it's been so long and because of his age, oh, man, this is going to be a farce. This is going to be a circus show. This is going to be one of those where you're just like, man, I wasted it. But Pacquiao has shown time and time again, hey, buddy, when I go out there, win, lose, or draw, you guys are always in for a show. I always put on for the fans, and I always go out there and lay it all on the line. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We got some interesting fights as well. We got Tim Tszyu facing Sebastian Fedora for the WBC Junior Middleweight Championship. We got Isaac Cruz taking on Angel Ferrero in the Junior Welterweight division, and we got Brandon Figueroa taking on Yoel Gonzalez in the Featherweight division. So again, this is going to be a tremendous fight card right here. It's at MGM Grand, right here in the backyard of of Las Vegas, right across from T-Mobile Arena, where usually UFC hosts his pay-per-views, but boxing is going to be a lot of fun. And again, this just leads into other big boxing matches we got out here in the desert coming up later this year. So stay tuned for that. Before we get to these fights in the cage, get to the fights in the ring, there's some battles going on the stage in New Orleans, slapping each other. Once again, Power Slap 14, got my interview up with Power Slap 13 participant, Destiny McCubbin. Be sure you guys go to Franchise Sports YouTube page, check out the interview. She was fantastic. Can't wait to have her back on. The main event, we'll see, for Damian the Bell Dibble, the champion in the heavyweight division, taking on Wes the Boom Mena. Heavyweight title on the line. 5 rounds of these guys going back and forth. That is going to be tremendous to watch these two go at it again. Damian DeBell taking on Wes Mena. That is going to be a powerful one. These guys, champion in Bell. Mena clearly has worked his way up to being the number 1 contender for a reason. These two guys, when they hit, you go down. How would this one turn out? Tune in to find out. You also got Robert, the real deal Trulio, taking on Dakota, the Maritime Menace, McGregor, in a lightweight bout for the championship. Another 5 rounds, titles on the line. These guys going at it. It is going to be a lot of fun. The real deal has talked about, hey, possibly moving up and going for champ status already. So we'll see if he's successful in this one, then possibly he can move on up to the welterweight division and challenge the champion up there. Ooh, there is one in October coming back out here, so maybe we'll have them on for you. But that's going to be an interesting one as well. But don't sleep on McGregor. Look at the Irish coming back. At least one McGregor's doing right, the other one. But Power Slap 14 going down New Orleans. It is going to be a lot of fun. To check out. It's on YouTube, so it's free, so there's no reason whatsoever why you shouldn't be watching it. Very quickly, couple things I want to touch on, just very quickly. One, obviously, sticking in the world, going back to the world of mixed martial arts, right? I saw this, and I thought it was very interesting, and again, I'm going to be very quick with this, but obviously we know Jon Jones retires. Then there's a possibility that he may want to come back because next year, apparently, the UFC is going to be doing a show at the White House. Apparently, Conor McGregor is back in the testing pool. They're going to try to stack that card to be one of the best cards of all time. Could it be McGregor and Jones once again back on the card? They were supposed to be on the card together before. The first time DC and Jones were supposed to fight, Jon Jones gets injured. It gets postponed. That's when Conor McGregor defeats who? Dustin Poirier. See how this all comes full circle? Bam! So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Does Jon Jones maybe take this time away, hopefully get some things in life together, some personal demons, and guess what could possibly happen in that time? The UFC heavyweight division can start thriving because now if Tom Aspinall could go on a run like many people predict and could prove himself worthy of being one of the best heavyweights out there, maybe that gives Jon Jones a little bit more motivation to go out there and say, hey, you know what? This guy's big in the MMA world, but now thanks to everything that went on between me and him calling me out, him saying I was ducking him, X, Y, and Z, now I'm retired, now he's the champion. Maybe he puts a couple wins together, defends that title. Now I got the motivation to come back and fight somebody. You got to think, just like I talked about earlier, when you have fighters who get to a certain point where, hey, man, at the same time, you don't know when that beast in the closet is done. You don't know when that basement is empty of everything that you have. Well, now Jon Jones is looking at it and saying, look, Tom Aspinall is big in the MMA world. He's not big globally like Francis Ngannou, like Alex Pereira, not Stipe Miocic, the greatest UFC heavyweight champion of all time, not Daniel DC Cormier. So now I got the motivation to go out there, face this guy, because now he's on the line for possibly being the best heavyweight of all time. Now I got motivation. Look, I done been out there and took on all these guys who were supposed to be the best of all time, future Hall of Famers, ex-champions, X, Y, and Z. I've done all that. Where's my motivation now to get ready for another tough fight? You guys, look, we've all seen fighters get to a point in their career where it just looked like, oh man, you just like you didn't have it anymore. You just didn't train hard enough. And they even tell you, yeah, it was hard for me to get up for this fight. It was hard for me to get mentally prepared and train how I was supposed to train for this fight. And I truly do believe that plays a big part in why Jon Jones just never fought Tom Aspinall. Said it right here on the Main Event on Franchise Sports Media several times before. I don't necessarily think he's ducking him. I just think it's a matter of fact of, hey man, I'm at a point in my career, like Floyd Mayweather said at one point, I'm the A side. I need somebody to be equally as good on the other side as well, and not just every fight card is based off my name and my name value. What do you bring to the table? I.e., Francis Ngannou, Alex Pereira, Stipe Miocic. I know the whole Stipe thing by the time we got to it, but think about it. When it was supposed to happen, that was huge. That was big. It wasn't that far away, but a little bit of time went by. We got a little older, and the excitement for it just wasn't there. DC. Hey, if DC was so active, was willing to come back, they probably would have won the third time around. Brock Lesnar. You see what I'm getting at? All these other names are bigger than Tom Aspinall. Now, granted, Tom has a chance now to go out there and prove himself and say, hey, I am going to be the future greatest heavyweight champion of all time. I just need time to run through the rest of these guys, maybe even circle and lap them once again. But my time is now. Let me show you. If you could do that, next year, DC. Tom, what you doing, baby? America versus Great Britain. We've had that before. How it turn out for you, baby? USA! USA! as I wrap this up, in the world of professional wrestling, WWE, we saw Seth Rollins, who's the Money in the Bank winner. Now, he has a Money in the Bank briefcase, won it. This is a guaranteed contract for a world title shot for a full year, anytime he wants it. It could be after a match, during a match, before a match, whatever. He could cash it in on any time. On Saturday Night Main Event, he injures his knee once again, unfortunately. Get better against LA Knight. Yeah. So now you wonder, okay, what's going on here? Because the theory is, if it's a real knee injury, well, what do you do with him having the Money in the Bank? Do you just have him hold it out of sight, out of mind, so that when he does come back, big pop, anticipation? Do you give it to somebody else, maybe have a tournament, another Money in the Bank match, and someone else could get the briefcase? Or with the Oracle in his corner, Paul Heyman, is this another plot twist to say, hey, Seth Rollins is out, baby. Guess who's fighting at SummerSlam? Gunther, world champion, taking on CM Punk. Well, what if CM Punk was a big Gunther and he was a get it? CM Punk gets the title once again, a champion, and then burn it down. Seth comes in and for the second time has the heist of the century, goes in, cashes in on his bitter rival CM Punk, gets the world championship. That creates a feud going forward. And guess what happens later on in the year? War Games. Seth Rollins and his squad, CM Punk and whoever he picks. I'm just saying, could that be? It's professional wrestling. You never know. If Seth Rollins truly is injured, seriously, get better. We wish you nothing but the best. You are one of the absolute top stars out there for a reason, so get better. But when SummerSlam comes, I will be paying attention. I won't believe anything until the credits are rolling and the screen goes off and they take me back to the main menu on Peacock. Stay tuned. And speaking of staying tuned, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Main Event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm your host, Kleiny Lua. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Franchise Sports Media for more content. Till next time, fight fans. Peace.